Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am out at my property in Colorado. It's a few hours southwest of Colorado Springs, and I picked up this property very reasonable. It's about 36 acres. It's actually right behind me. It kind of goes up that bluff or that little cliff area back there. Beautiful spot. I bought this about a year ago. After I sold my business, I just wanted to invest the money into some properties and not really sure exactly what I was going to get. This was purchased sight unseen, just photos, drone photos, obviously all of the legal stuff. But anyway, first time out here a year later, and I'm super happy with what I ended up buying. Um, so now I'm brainstorming building something out here. Just a small cabin and hopefully something fairly simple. It's hard to it's hard to say what the climate is out here consistently. We are at about 8,000 feet. So ground level is 8,000 feet. Where I'm at in Tennessee is 800 feet. So it was quite interesting taking off. It's pretty crazy having the motor on your back and running the motor up. So typically I lean back and I let the thrust hold me up, and I can lean back quite a ways. Well, up here the air is so thin, I can literally go full throttle and just have one foot in front of me, and I can keep the motor from pushing me forward. So needless to say, launching the Paramotor is very doable. I've done it probably 6 times now. Every morning has been perfect for flying. It's been a little bit chilly. I think it was 40 something this morning, but it's worth it. It's worth it to get up and fly. So from the ground, this property is absolutely beautiful. You've got this huge open valley here. On the other side of that, you've got mountains that are probably 50 miles away. Behind us, we've got some mountains. This was a erupted volcano probably a million years ago, who knows. There are white cap mountains on the other side of this. In front of me, there's huge 14,000 foot mountains. On the other side of this valley is another huge string of mountains. So this area provides a lot of beauty, and from the ground it's amazing. When you get up in the air and you get to see it all and see views that nobody in this area have probably ever seen, it's incredible. Come on! Oh! Man, that takes some work. It is chilly this morning. So if you look ahead here, this is my property. And it's in a really cool spot, being having this wide open view as well as having this backdrop to it. We hiked up this mountain or cliff, whatever you want to call it, the other day. Nothing too difficult. Maybe took us a half hour, but it's some pretty steep areas. But now that the air is calm, I want to fly inside of this crater. So this is one of the things that drew me to this property. That is pretty cool. So this apparently was a volcano, or there was an explosion of some sort. And it just shot lava rock all over. That's pretty cool. I haven't been able to get this close to the ridge. So beautiful. You got this cool slope. Oh yeah. Now it takes so long to climb, that's the only downside. I've got my 24 meters Sirocco. I wanted to bring the Dudek, but man, that would have been hell trying to launch up here. So what's cool about this area is there's all these roads and they're very well manicured and they just bring you up to some of the most beautiful sights. This is what I've been wanting to do, is fly right over this cliff. Oh, yeah. It is so cool in here. Wow. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, you come up over this little cliff and then you've got this plateau and then this beautiful mountain range up here. That's one of the things I really like about this area is the diversity in the landscape. You know, where I'm at, I've got a beautiful view of the valley and the mountains in the distance. I just come up this road a little bit, now I've got a beautiful view of this huge mountain range. So that's Ute Mountain over there in the distance. That's one of the areas I would love to fly over and up to. I could easily get there. I think it's maybe 15 miles away. I just haven't had a good day with good conditions. So I learned this from Colton when we went fly camping up in North Idaho. We camped out on this mountain and the winds were not optimal in the morning. And he said to wait a little bit for the sun to heat up the other side of the mountain and the winds would shift. And that's exactly what they did. So what I've learned in this area is I've been watching it. So as the valley gets the sun first, as it crests over the mountain, the winds shift and they start coming off the valley. It's amazing because right now we're probably 150, 200 feet. And then as soon as I get over this edge, you can see that it's a significant drop. That's such a fun feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you could get some really cool lift if you got a day with the winds were coming right off of this area. That'd be pretty awesome. So a buddy of mine asked me about any adjustments to my motor flying at this altitude. One thing I did notice, it's ran fine from the beginning, but I checked my plug after 2 flights and it was looking a little bit lean. So I did richen it just slightly, maybe like 1 or 2 minutes. And then my idle was lower. It's still a little bit low. It's getting down to like 1600 RPM, so I did raise the idle a little bit. So those are the 2 minor adjustments I had to make to get decent performance out of the motor at this altitude. Oh man, there's a bunch of horses on the road up here. So what's really cool about this area is they've got wild horses. There used to be like 18,000 of them out here, and they've dwindled it down and they've removed a bunch of them. So it's getting to be pretty mild. So they're down to like 4,000 or 5,000 now, which is just kind of sad. But I can see where they might be a nuisance, especially if they're getting on the highway like this.
This is a 65-mile-an-hour 2-lane highway, and I don't know what it would be like hitting a horse at 65. So I'm actually going to do the highway department a favor and see if I can run these horses off the highway. I'm not chasing animals right now. I'm actually trying to do them a favor so nobody gets hurt. It's pretty cool seeing wild horses, seeing them run like that. Strange things you find in the desert. But yeah, we better get within gliding distance of home. Which I would say I probably am actually now. But yeah, the wind, I'm using my wind sock. And it's funny because, yeah, I know what the wind is doing at that level, 10 feet off my camper. But then you get up over this ridge and who the hell knows what it's doing. So you just got to be a little more careful. Picking the right times like this in the morning, where even though the winds are starting to develop, odds are they're not dangerous. It just might be a little bit bumpy here and there. Let's make this happen. There we go. Ow, I think I kicked a rock. But it was a nice landing actually.